Pursuant to some revelations that were made by the Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa concerning some contracts of the National Cathedral, he's here at the premises of CHRAJ to present to CHRAJ a petition of conflict of interest against the person of Reverend Victor Kusi-Boateng. He's here in the company of private legal practitioner Eduji Tamaklo. He is alleging conflict of interest against Reverend Kusi-Boateng, who is secretary to the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral. According to revelations he had made public, Reverend Kusi-Boateng, under another name, allegedly Kwabena Edu Jemfi, is board chair of a company that has received a 2.6 million contract from the National Cathedral. It is his allegation that by virtue of Reverend Kusi-Boateng being the secretary to the Board of Trustees, he has engaged in conflict of interest. He is demanding, among a number of things, that the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral should be dissolved. He's asking that monies that have been paid to Reverend Kusi-Boateng, who he believes to be the same person as Kwabena Edu Jemfi, be recovered back to the coffers. The Honorable has gone in to meet the commissioners of CHRAJ. The petition has been handed over to the commissioners of CHRAJ. They are exchanging pleasantries currently at the office of CHRAJ here in Accra. We'll be finding out from the MP how he was received and how things went.
My client, the Honorable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, presented a petition, which copy eventually will give to the media, invoking the jurisdiction of CHRAJ to investigate matters involving the National Cathedral and how public funds have been expended relative. Now, my client makes the point that he sees clear evidence of conflict of interest involving one of the trustees. And as you are aware, since they are in trust position, a certain level of good faith and candor is required in their dealing with the trust, which is the Cathedral project. Now, it does appear from the evidence available that an amount of 2.6 million Ghana cedis have been moved from a private entity to the Cathedral and back to this private entity. We are asking for an investigation into it.
The Cathedral Secretariat statement is very ridiculous, absolutely preposterous. And they have to credit the Ghanaian people with some discernment. You brought your own documents to Parliament and told us that you paid JNS 2.6 million Ghana cedis as contractors' mobilization. That's what your own document said. When did this become a loan? And why didn't you state in the original documents you brought to Parliament that this was a loan? This is a ridiculous afterthought. After they have been exposed, after we have found out that Kwabena Edu Jemfi is apparently Reverend Victor Kusi-Boateng, one and the same. Direct, blatant conflict of interest. So we will not run after ridiculous afterthoughts. This has been a National Cathedral drowning in deception, in fraud, in lies, and they have no respect for the Ghanaian people. So we have confidence in CHRAJ. We will wait for the CHRAJ investigation.
Meanwhile, the National Cathedral Secretariat has debunked these claims, insisting the monies paid to JNS Talent Center Limited are lawful. In a statement, the Secretariat indicated that the 2.6 million Ghana cedis was repayment for a loan taken from JNS Talent Center Limited to supplement payments to contractors of the National Cathedral project.
There was this issue of paying the contractors for their mobilization. And we had received notification that that transfer had been made by the Ministry of Finance.
Okay.
And then we had informed the contractors, and this had delayed for quite some time. So you kind of wanted to be sure that this time around, the information we're giving them. And then we had a call from the controller's department that he couldn't transfer the money the date they had promised. Apparently, there was issues to do with some payroll issues that day. And so then the board member says, look, we've promised these people he'll be willing to give us a loan. And really, these are all verifiable information.
We have been speaking to Reverend Kusi-Boateng, the person who is involved in this particular matter. He has refused to speak to us on the record. He, however, says that he has referred the matter to his lawyers for response, and when his lawyers are ready with a response, we will get that from him. Reporting for Citi News, Hansen Ajaman.